Hello everyone, this week we're in Parashat Lekh Lekha. It is hard to translate the words Lekh Lekha into English, but the easiest way to translate it that is not that far from the origin is move on. Move on. Lech means in Hebrew go, Lecha means for yourself. Go for yourself. But really it means move on, and I'll explain why. What does it mean? In previous Parashat, we explained about the power of consciousness in everything we do to guarantee success in the mission of our lives, which is success. Now, in this Parashat, it starts with Lekh Lekha, and God is telling Abraham to move on, to leave, physically leave the place he's living in, which is Haran. Haran is what is today southeast of Turkey, and go to the land of Canaan, what is today is Israel. And the Zohar says, in Parashat Lekh Lekha, says, what does it mean? It is for the purpose of lighting, bringing holy light into Abraham. How? Whoever does not see the light, does not see the fire, the flame of holiness coming up in himself, should move himself up to another location. Same way, says the Zohar, is when you have a bonfire and you have a piece of wood that is dark, cold dark, and no fire coming out of it, but the moment you start to shake it and move it from one place to another, the flame starts to come up from that charcoal. And what does it mean? It means that the person needs the move in order to have the flame of holiness holding in his soul and his body. And the move is the message of this parasha. And what does it mean? What does it mean that I have to move? Do I have to move thousands of miles away from my home, from my birthplace? And that's what it says. And the Zohar in Parashat Ki Tetzeh says, when it says it really means coming out of your birth chart. Moladetcha means the moon, the new moon, the birth of the moon. Mi Beit Avicha, from the house of your father. It means no, the Zohar says, from the house of your astrological chart. If you know, there's in the astrological chart, there are houses. So basically, every person has his own astrological chart of the moment of his birth. But this is a starting point. This is what you came to this world to walk and move on from. And that's the meaning of life. The meaning of life is not that you physically have to move on from one country to another, from one relationship to another, from one job to another. The moving on is an ongoing thing that has to be done every moment in a person's thought and mind. It's all in the mind. All in the thought, is that everything we see, we believe in, we always have to try to find a different angle to look at it, and a different point of perception. And as we learn that perception is everything, because perception creates reality, not the opposite is the true thing. The perception is the what creates reality. We as humans, and humans are creatures that move on. If you don't move on, you're not a real human being. The moving on is part of the transformation of the mind. Looking always from a different perspective. How do you change perspective? Listen to other people. Listen to people that think positive. Listen to people that think in a creative way. Study. When you study spiritual books, you can choose the most wisest people that ever walked on earth. You can find so many books like this. And studying allows you to look at things from a different perspective. So, life is about moving on. And that's what we should do, not just this week, every day, every minute, is always running away from being stuck in a certain way of thinking, in a certain perspective, in a certain angle, always re-evaluating and moving on. And this is how it moves on. Lekh Lekha in numerical value in Hebrew is 100. We know according to Kabbalah there are 10 levels, 10 Sefirot. Each one is divided to 10, altogether 100 basic levels. Lekh Lekha means move on, and we have to climb from one level to another. And if you think that you reach the perfect level, you probably have a mistake. So move on, and that's the guarantee for success, prosperity, and everything that is good. Because that is life, moving on. Thank you, and have a great week.